Hey, what is going on, folks? We're here to check out every single Eldar Craftworld explained by an Australian. If you like this channel and you want to see more Warhammer content, don't just watch. Take a moment to subscribe. That's all I ask. I do have a Patreon as well. We're trying to get this channel to 20,000 subscribers. I know we're barely at 10,000, but yeah, we're already past that. We know that's going to happen. Let's get to the 20,000, and I just appreciate it. It makes it easier for me to take the time out to explore these videos and share my thoughts and ideas with you guys. And I want to dive into some other content, but I've got to just know that it's feasible. Like I can spend long hours on this and then start looking up into my own lore and headcanon and see what I can contribute to the community as well. But we gotta have stepping stones to get there. Hope you guys understand. Let's jump into the video. I take notes, so if you see me typing away, that's what I do.
Gal, everyone knows that I have a soft spot in my heart for the Eldar.
Yeah,
and
he
no,
does.
It's not just because of them having the finest selection of big titty girlfriends. Their aesthetic and desperate fight for their souls make for an interesting viewing, as well as the fact that the Eldar have by far the best quality of life in the galaxy and live the longest. Unless you know they're in a book about a named space marine. The Craftworld Eldar have been the poster boys of this sexy space elves for a while, only just recently being kind of overtaken by the new Ynnari, which I've already covered. So I reckon it's time for these pretentious nomads to have their time in the sun. Before we get started, things in life are always changing. Things you used to cling onto for comfort and familiarity sometimes erode into something new and not always better. You probably feel this effect for a lot of things in your life. But not for our monthly Surfshark VPN sponsorship. Yes! Once again, I am asking for your VPN subscription to Surfshark, the best and only VPN I've ever used. So whilst I may be biased, yeah, that's irrelevant. For those that still don't know what a VPN is, due to a Timmy tier IQ, or you know, you just knew, it's basically a secret agent disguise that you can put on your IP, not only masking it from online predators, but also allowing you to bypass regional firewalls and access the internet in other countries. Got a crappy Netflix library? Surfshark can fix that. Want to pretend you're Swedish to attract cute e-girls? Surfshark can help you out with that. Want to escape the online clutches of your oppressive government? Surfshark can help you out with that. Wow, surely this amazing software will cost my soul. Not at all, citizen. With my super awesome link below, you can get 83% off with 3 months free. That value is mind-boggling. The software is incredibly easy to use. Just download it and click to your heart's content. Surfshark and I are so confident that you will love your newfound internet powers that they're offering a 30-day money-back guarantee. So there's literally nothing stopping you other than your own laziness and insecurities. Or, you know, maybe you already got Surfshark, which in that case, you can simply just cancel your subscription and resubscribe. Seems like a reasonable thing to do. Thank you, Surfshark VPN, for sponsoring this video.
I like that.
Today
I can't believe you
we'll
put
go over
that
each of
in
the main
there.
known craft worlds, explaining what they're known for, what exciting shit they've done, and if they're still flying around. Spoilers, a lot of craft worlds are dead. Press F for all the big titty Eldar girlfriends lost to us forever. And yes, there are unknown craft worlds that I obviously won't be able to talk about for obvious reasons. The fact that I even have to mention that highlights how little I think about the average brain power of my audience. There are unknown craft worlds that I obviously won't be able to talk about for obvious reasons. The fact that I even have to mention that highlights how little I think about the average brain power of my audience.
No, he's right. I have to
As a
actually go back and
disclaimer,
figure out why.
I'm not an Eldar. I don't speak Eldar. Hence, I will 100% botch the majority of the Craftworld names because they're spelt like AIDS. Let's get into it. Firstly, just
That's
a quick
me when I
recap
watch
of
anime,
what a Craftworld
fam.
is,
It's
in
like,
case you guys don't
I don't know how to
partake
say
in the
this.
disappointing delights of Eldar lore like I do. When the Eldar Empire was at its climax, both metaphorically and physically, large self-sustaining ships traveled around the galaxy to explore and trade. These were the original Craftworlds, who were seen as
What's the
nomads
purpose
and
in
primitives
trading
by
if
the
you
rest
can
of the
make
Eldar race. When the Eldar decided to genocide themselves via a galactic blood orgy, the Craftworlds were mostly immune from the effects of Slaanesh, and they would often spend hundreds if not thousands of years away from the rest of the Eldar at a time. So imagine you're a Craftworld, you visit the Eldar Empire, everything is good, Asurian is praised, consensual sex is at a record high. Then you visit 1,000 years later, and suddenly everyone is eating babies and putting their cocks in forbidden glory holes. It's a pretty obvious difference. Hence the Craftworlds basically gathered up as many still sane Eldar as they could, and fled the Eldar Empire just in time for the birth of Slaanesh and the fall of their civilization. Now, as the Craftworld were nomadic and often didn't see the Eldar Empire for many years, they didn't have access to all the best technology, whilst the Dark Eldar, who were in the Eldar Empire the whole time, were able to take a lot of it with them when they fled into the Webway.
That makes
Since the
sense.
fall, the population of the Craftworlds has boomed, and so has their size. Once
they got
large
bigger.
trading vessels, many of them are now the size of continents and are powerhouses in their own right, hence the name Craftworld.
Craftworld.
Good.
Cool.
Let's begin. The first Craftworld on this
So
list
their
is
population is
AFLOAT,
growing?
who are famous for their chastity belts. I'm only half joking, these Eldar are extremely careful when it comes to anything related to Slaanesh, hence they are very strict, forcing the people to strictly follow the path of Asuryan, which is basically means no fun. Because of this, a large amount of Eldar from Alatiok leave the Craftworld to become rangers, allowing them the freedom to fucking have fun. They have so many rangers that they've begun to develop a superior class of ranger called Pathfinders. Ironic that the Craftworld with the biggest stick up its ass has the largest army of free-thinking rangers. These Rangers with the biggest stick up its ass
just gave me an idea. Give me a second. I'm just writing down my notes. So these are like my personal notes. Idea. That, you know what I'm gonna do? You guys don't have to watch this, struggle.
has the largest army of free-thinking rangers. These rangers haven't abandoned their home though, and they're always welcome to return. Sometimes in great need, they will be recalled home if the Craftworld is under threat. Alatiok has gone through some shit, which it usually handles well. The Craftworld has destroyed Tyranid splinter fleets and defeated demons. However, due to the Dark Eldar's bullshit fuckery, they were nearly destroyed. A Dark Eldar raiding party disguised as Eldar Corsairs from Alatiok viciously raided Imperial worlds. Hence the Imperium retaliated against Alatiok by attacking with a huge force, including an entire Space Marine chapter. The Eldar fought hard, but once again, Space Marine models sell more. Hence, despite being one of the main Craftworlds who were supremely well armed, they were pushed back into the inner parts of the Craftworld, even with the use of their Avatar of Cain and 3 Phoenix Lords, including Margan Ra, who we all know is an absolute demigod. Then one of the rangers found out about the Dark Eldar's raiders who framed Alatiok for the memes, so he went to the surprisingly chill chapter master of the Marines and was like, "Mate, it's all a huge misunderstanding. The Dark Eldar did it." And the chapter master was like, "Oi bro, what do you mean? I've never seen a Black Eldar before." And then the ranger was like, nah mate, Dark is in our evil dark cousins. We didn't do anything." And then the chapter master was like, "Who cares? Oh fuck bro, sorry, my bad." And then the ranger was like, nah man, it's all good. We all make mistakes, have a good one. Hence the Imperial forces withdrew and it was all good. Kinda dumb how a single Space Marine chapter and some guardsmen can nearly take down a high tier Craftworld, but I guess that's just how the cookie crumbles. Next up is the Black Library.
I feel you with that frustration.
This super spooky and mysterious Craftworld stores all the knowledge that the Eldar race has on Chaos, and holy shit, it is a lot of knowledge. Most Eldar don't even know of this Craftworld's existence as it travels through the Webway, and despite Ahriman having a raging boner for it, he has not been able to access it yet. Suck shit, Ahriman. It's like the most exclusive nightclub in the world, with only the Black Council, that being the best and brightest Farseers the Eldar have, as well as Solitaires, who are the greatest Eldar warriors around and are extremely hardcore, can access the library freely. Some humans have been able to access it due to them completely incorruptible and having mastered their inner chaos. Due to its nature, it supports a way smaller population than the other Craftworlds, and it relies more on insane levels of warding and harlequins to defend it, rather than large armies. Onto Baal Tan, who just love war. Very elite they love it. That shit's like lamb chowder to them. Baal Tan has a huge amount of elite aspect warriors, as well as their own unique tank variant that specializes in killing orcs. Baal Tan believes it can reforge the old Eldar Empire through genociding the other races, most notably the orcs. They often team up with humans to kill orcs. It's kind of ironic that the Eldar Craftworld that loves war and wears green armor hates the greenskins. Maybe they wish they were orcs, and got the idea that if they killed all orcs, they could assume their mantle. Baal Tan had grown confident. They often attacked anything on an Eldar maiden world that wasn't an Eldar, and those were often easy targets. They had slaughtered countless orcs and proved their valor time and time again, so it was very humbling for them that a Slaaneshi army would invade the heart of their craft world, causing massive amounts of damage and killing a lot of them. Their Infinity Circle was damaged, and the craft world was broken up into a mobile fleet, with even more warriors leaving Baal 10 to join the Ynnari. Things look pretty grim for Baal 10. How were they supposed to bring back the Eldar Empire if after 10,000 years of trying, they were doing worse off than when they started?
Sound like Rita.
But then they were like, wait, even after the countless orcs we have killed and conquered, they never stop or give up. They never despair. How are we supposed to be the new orcs if we can't even match the current ones? With this new epiphany realized, Baal 10 rallied itself and attacked the galaxy with renewed vigor. Its new status as a craft fleet working to its advantage as it's able to cover more ground. You go, wannabe orcs. After Baal 10, we have a craft world who has eaten even more shit than them. Fleet working to its advantage as it's able to cover more ground. You go, wannabe orcs.
I missed it.
Baal 10 rallied itself and attacked the galaxy with renewed vigor. Its new status as a craft fleet working to its advantage as it's able to cover more ground. You go, wannabe orcs. After Baal 10, we have a craft world who has eaten even more shit than them. Liandon. Liandon was one of the greatest.
I miss where. What's the difference between a craft fleet and a craft world? If you already explained it, I kind of just didn't catch it. What's the difference between a craft world and a craft fleet? Let's see. In a craft world is a massive planet-sized spacecraft. A craft fleet, on the other hand, is a collection of smaller ships and vessels that can be launched from or support a craft world, enabling the craft world to engage in combat explosion. Oh, okay. Kind of reminds me of a carrier strike group that assists the craft world. Is a self-sustaining large independent spacecraft, serves as a mobile city and home for a large portion of the Eldari population. Okay. And you send out the craft fleet especially to keep them from getting to your world. I feel like that makes sense. Okay. Okay, we'll finish this video and then if I have more questions, I'll circle over.
Craft worlds. It was they who forged the Infinity Circuits and gave the Eldar a chance to escape. With this new even after the countless orcs we have killed and supposed to bring back the Eldar Empire if after 10,000 years of trying, they were doing worse off than when they started. But then they were like, wait, even after the countless orcs we have killed and conquered, they never stop or give up. They never despair. How are we supposed to be the new orcs if we can't even match the current ones? With this new epiphany realized, Baal 10 rallied itself and attacked the galaxy with renewed vigor. Its new status as a craft fleet working to its advantage as it's able to cover more ground. You go, wannabe orcs. After Baal 10, we have a craft world who has eaten even more shit than that shit, Araman. That shit's like lamb. Maybe they wish they were in a world that wasn't an Eldar, and those were often easy targets. They had slaughtered countless orcs and proved, and those were often. Baal 10 had grown confident. They often attacked anything on an Eldar maiden world that wasn't an Eldar, and proved their valor time in the world, causing massive amounts of damage and killing a lot of them. Their Infinity Circle was damaged, and the craft world was broken up into a mobile fleet, with even more warriors leaving Baal 10 to join the Ynnari.
It's when they got. I was like, how did we get here? They were broken up and turned into a mobile fleet. That's what I was looking for. I was like, how did we get here?
It was very humbling for them that a Slaaneshi army would invade the heart of their craft world,
I was trying to figure out where I lose
amounts
it.
of damage and killing a lot of them. Their Infinity Circle was damaged, and the craft world was broken up into a mobile fleet, with even more warriors leaving Baal 10 to join the Ynnari. Things look pretty grim for Baal 10. How were they supposed to bring back the Eldar Empire if after 10,000 years of trying, they were doing worse off than when they started? But then they were like, wait, even after the countless orcs we have killed and conquered, they never stop or give up. They never despair. How are we supposed to be the new orcs if we can't even match the current ones? With this new epiphany realized, Baal 10 rallied itself and attacked the galaxy with renewed vigor. Its new status as a craft fleet working to its advantage as it's able to cover more ground. You go, wannabe orcs. After Baal 10, we have a craft world who has eaten even more shit than them. Liandon. Leandon was one of the greatest craftworlds. It was they who forged the Infinity Circuits and gave the Eldar a chance to escape Slaanesh. They then teamed up with Baal Tan, as one craftworld purged chaos from one side of the galaxy, the other did so on the opposite. Due to the webway connecting to the two craftworlds, it was common for them to reinforce each other despite the insane distance they were. Eventually Baal Tan got too horny for genocide against the other races, whilst Leandon wanted to keep purging just chaos, hence the close alliance they once had went kaput. Despite this, Leandon would continue to beast mode, and eventually a powerful warrior called Uriel rose up and took command of Leandon's fleet. He smashed through chaotic armies like nothing, even wiping out an entire Chaos warband. However, by him leading the Leandon fleet on a preemptive strike against said warband, the warband was able to fire 36 planet-busting nukes at the craftworld.
Oh my god!
These nukes could not be easily intercepted, as all of Leandon's ships were massacring chaos, hence the craftworld's defenses were able to wipe out 35 of the 36 nukes. One got through. Ouch. A big part of the craftworld blew up, and despite their victory, Prince Uriel was exiled. Things were about to go from bad to worse for Leandon. A fuck-off huge Tyranid high fleet was on the way to eat them, and the legendary Farseer Eldrad saw it coming and was like, "Yo, Leandon, some rather unpleasant hentai monsters are coming to eat you," and Leandon was like, "Fuck off Eldrad, you old nerd." Hence the high fleet attacked Leandon, and boy oh boy did the Eldar die.
What kind of script was
Roughly
this?
80% of the craftworld had been overrun when Prince Uriel returned from exile with a fleet of Eldar Corsairs. He was like Space Rohan saving Space Ministers from Space Orks, except they were Tyranids, but you know what I mean. The Hive fleet was beaten after Uriel took up the Spear of Twilight and killed the Hive Tyrant with it. It was the most Pyrrhic of Pyrrhic victories, as Leandon now had to support a huge army of Wraithguard and other undead Eldar warriors. Over the next few years, Leandon will be attacked time and time again by Orks, the Imperium, Chaos and Tyranids, and time again, Uriel would slaughter his enemies, but the spear was eating his soul, and he didn't have much life left in him. But then the Ynnari happened, and suddenly he's good again, cause Yned is awesome, and definitely has no hidden grimdark side effects. Somehow Leandon actually seemed to be on the upper. Whilst Uriel kept the craftworld safe, others on Leandon were fulfilling a hectic prophecy that was super handy. So yeah, there you go. Just because 80% of your friends and family get eaten by space bugs of death, doesn't mean it's GG. But then they were attacked again, but then it was okay. Again. Yeah, poor Leandon. Next up for the main craftworlds is Samhain, and they're just here to party. If you took the White Scars, made them Eldar, then de-Asianified them, you would get Samhain, as they love jet bikes, quick attacks, and dumplings. Due to this simpler life, as well as the fact that Samhain abandoned the Elder Empire well before the fall, they haven't had too many issues compared to, let's say, I don't know, Leandon. They are a hot-blooded people who like fighting but not waging war. Due to their dickheadedness, the other craftworlds don't really like them, hence they don't get dragged into many of the other conflicts. Even when the Ynnari arrived to recruit some of them, a Dark Elder assassination squad arrived and interrupted the meeting, meaning
I'm going to try to keep track of which is my favorite craft world. It's going to be hard. I'm going to try to keep track of it. And if you guys haven't subscribed, but you like my content, you like watching these videos, please consider doing so. We're trying to get this channel to 20,000 subscribers. Let's do it.
Like them, hence they don't get dragged into many of the other conflicts. Even when the Ynnari arrived to recruit some of them, a Dark Elder assassination squad arrived and interrupted the meeting, meaning Yvraine couldn't really drum up much support. On her next attempt, I would recommend to her that she just tell the people of Samhain that Yned has super fast awesome jet bikes. Yeah, that should do it. The final main craftworld is Ulthwé, home of a cool color scheme and Eldrad, who is by far the most impactful Eldar and even one of the characters in the entire setting. Ulthwé is full of nerds. It has so many nerds, and by nerds I mean warlocks and farseers, that it barely has any Chad aspect warriors. This is likely due to the fact that it was unable to properly escape the fall of the Eldar, as the craftworld has been caught in the gravitational pull of the Eye of Terror. Kind of ironic that the craftworld with the most amount of dudes that can see the future couldn't figure out that they probably needed to leave a couple days earlier.
You know what?
As I was saying though, their proximity to the Eye of Terror is probably why so many of them have awesome nerd psycho powers. Because, you know, warp spaghetti and whatnot. As Ulthwé doesn't have many aspect warriors, to compensate, their guardians are really powerful, and they're called the Black Guardians. Because of their armor, obviously. What were you thinking, you racist piece of... They also employ the use of battle warlocks, hence they are more than capable of defending or attacking despite the lack of screechy bitches. By far their biggest strength though is their really accurate and solid ability to see the future. Unfortunately, this seems to be coupled with intense autism, which continues to ruin any relationship the Imperium might have with the Eldar. For example, Ulthwé sees that a planetary governor has secretly fallen to chaos and will turn his planet into a big-ass demon-filled
won't say
wargate,
nothing.
causing mass damage and suffering. Hence, Ulthwé would send in a strike team to kill the governor and then leave. They just saved billions of lives and resources, yet all the Imperium saw is an esteemed governor just got blown up. Another example is that a huge Ork is due to attack a Tau planet. Hence, Ulthwé raids the planet in order to put the Tau on alert and prepare for war. Hence, meaning they are prepared for the Orks and defeat them. But all the Tau see is that Ulthwé were being dicks and just coincidentally worked out. If Ulthwé showed themselves as reliable to the other races, then they could simply tell the other races of shit that is going to go down, rather than having to antagonize themselves. Time and time again, Ulthwé does the right thing in the wrong way, and despite their foresight, they often miss out on minor details, which results in Eldar lives being lost. Now that's Ulthwé summed up pretty much, but I don't want to include Eldrad's accomplishments here because Ulthwé is always yelling at him or trying to banish him, so I don't want to give him any credit. I'm starting to think that there's a long linear correlation between being able to see the future and having poor people skills. Now onto some of the more minor but still badass craft worlds.
Yeah, that
we
is
have
common.
Altansar. Whilst Ulthwé,
I gotta tell you, that is hilarious. Preparing you for the Orks, so I attack you to ready your defense, but not explaining why. And he used an example, which I'm not gonna say out loud, but it's when some people when they're on some type of spectrum, that's the answer. Sometimes they're brilliant. They can memorize complex formulas, but sometimes they just do or say stuff that you and I can't, we can't rationalize. Look at me trying not to get cancelled.
They fucked up and got caught in the Eye of Terror's gravitational pull, forcing it to orbit it. Altansar really fucked up and got sucked into the Eye of Terror. Now the Eye of Terror isn't the warp. It's shit, and I would give it a 1-star on TripAdvisor, but it isn't literal hell. It's like entry-level hell. Hence, despite Altansar being in the Eye of Terror, for mostly unknown reasons, they survived for 10,000 years. The lore states that they had some subtle help from Uned, but my theory is that this was the craft world that produced Margan Ra, and considering Margan is by far the most powerful and badass Eldar running around, it makes sense that his craft world can kick some serious demon ass. Eventually Margan, who was able to escape his craft world before it got sucked by the Eye, decided that he would just go and get it. Hence he went into the Eye of Terror, found his still living craft world, and dragged it out into real space.
How do you drag it out?
Just because they survived doesn't mean they're unscathed. The Eldar of Altansar speak only in whispers and do not remove their helmets, which while sounds a bit silly, makes complete sense. If you were forced to play hide and seek for 10,000 years lest you get raped by demons, I'm sure you wouldn't want to speak too loudly either. Altansar have recently come out in support of the Inari, but the other Eldar think that Altansar are a bunch of weirdos, as there's no way.
What's going on, Davis? Yo, come over here. It's because for 10,000 years, there was a whole movie where you couldn't say anything because there was these monsters that would find you, and the whole show, or movie was about being silent. Oh my god, that's hilarious. Come on.
Makes complete sense. If you were forced to play hide and seek for 10,000 years lest you get raped by demons, I'm sure you wouldn't want to speak too loudly either. Altansar have recently come out in support of the Inari, but the other Eldar think that Altansar are a bunch of weirdos, as there's no way a normal person can live in the Eye of Terror for 10,000 years.
True.
Next up is Ilkaith, which is a less than craft world but still quite cool. They constantly fight against chaos and have the best bone singers around. Bone singers are Eldar builders and blacksmiths who rarely fight, but Ilkaith have managed to train their bone singers to be able to play fucking Minecraft mid-battle and use it to turn the tide. They often ally with mankind and Dark Eldar in their war against chaos. Onto Librasil, which for lack of a better term is a feminine craft world.
I like
the patriarchy, am I right? As such, they have a ton of howling banshees and pay special the patriarchy, am I right? Which for lack of a better term is a feminine craft world. Fuck the patriarchy, am I right? As such, they have a ton of howling banshees and pay special attention to female Eldar gods, and will try recover artifacts such as the Tear of Isha or other random bullshit on the old Eldar crone worlds. Now we have Kalor, who kinda suck. They barely talk to the other craftworlds and have a really stupid political system. Even the Harlequins don't hang out with these guys. Basically, they have political families that form houses that are always vying for control. The Aspect Shrines promise not to get involved in the politics, hence after thousands of years of political bullshit, no wars, no contact with other craftworlds, and no Aspect warriors telling them to pull their heads out of their own asses, the craftworld begun to restart its mass blood orgies, like the ones that caused the fall of the Elder, then they had a civil war. These guys could honestly all blow up one day and no one would even notice, that's just how irrelevant they are. The craftworld with the stupidest fate award goes to Malantai. Malantai fought against the splinter feet of High Fleet Naga, and they won the battle. However, a small experimental Tyranid was able to slip past and find its way into their Eldar's Infinity Circuit, where it began to eat souls, and grew into a gigantic invincible monster that destroyed the rest of the craftworld. No, I'm not joking. Couple things wrong with this. A craftworld's Infinity Circuit is their most prized thing ever. I doubt they would ever leave it unattended for that long, especially after a battle. And B, souls have little to no nutritional value. Get it right, GW. On to Luganeth now, who despite being a bunch of renegades that like raiding shit, are actually solid dudes. The other craftworlds aren't big fans of Luganeth, due to Luganeth spending most of their time partying with the Harlequins. Can't say I blame them, the Harlequins are wild. Luganeth almost exclusively only fights Chaos, and are responsible for the destruction of multiple Chaos warbands, as well as fighting Ahriman off the Black Library. Now we have the Mymeria, who is surprisingly deep lore considering how irrelevant they are. Unlike a lot of the other craftworlds, Mymeria was built during the fall of the Elder to act as an ark for the planet of, you guessed it, Mymeria. For millennia, these dudes and dudettes thought that they were the only craftworld around, and eventually they spawned the legendary Phoenix Lord Aurelius. His arrival taught Mymeria how to properly defend itself and actually kind of be a part of the galaxy. And then he went off and died because, I don't know, it was funny or something. A craftworld that teaches us a lesson is Kira Yis. Slaanesh had a huge boner for this craftworld, but her demons were unable to find a way in. Hence one of the Keeper of Secrets pretended to be an Eldar male and downloaded Tinder. He was able to match with a naive maiden girl who invited him into the craftworld to hold hands and shit. I don't know how Tinder works. While there, the disguised Keeper deactivated the craftworld's anti-rape defenses. Hence the full force of Slaanesh invaded, killing everyone on board and devouring their souls. Oh yeah, and the disguised Keeper of Secrets possessed the craftworld's avatar of Cain, because that's a thing apparently. Good going, maiden, you horny bitch. The final minor craftworld is that of Yimlock.
They still have it? They possess it?
Ability to build tanks and titans. Their titans are the biggest and badder Eldar titans around.
Oh wow.
Finally, at least one group of Eldar respect the rules of 40k, that being the bigger the better. Yes. They also have a proto-Death Star which is powered by souls. Unfortunately, a soul death laser beam constitutes a war crime, hence Yimlock haven't been able to use it yet. The fuck thing is that in terms of craftworlds, we aren't even halfway there yet. However, the rest of them are so minor that they're barely worth a mention. But this video is every craftworld explained, so buckle up, buckaroo. And Lossus and Dolphy are craftworlds known for happily teaming up with the Imperium.
He's just gonna start listing stuff.
Nearly was destroyed when the changeling demon impersonated a solitaire and launched an invasion. Dorai are a bunch of pretentious assholes who think they're better than even the other Eldar. Karan's
It pains me that we lost the craftworld to Slaanesh because of the Trojan horse thing. This is a world with so much tragedy, and when I think about it, it's like it literally bothers me that some idiot let an entire world, like an entire continent, go. But it's like two things. One, because of the quintillions, I don't know what's past a trillion, but anyways, because of the quintillions of people, losing a craftworld in the greater scheme of the galaxy is like nothing. Like barely anybody died. But when you're an endangered race like the Eldar, that's like a big deal. But even so, the craftworld's a continent, so like the Eldar the Eldar population hypothetically could easily equal 3 Earths. Easily. It could easily be 21 billion of them because of their craft worlds. But that still pales in comparison to the amount of humans, because there's hundreds of Earths, thousands of Earths, I think millions of planets or mining things that these people have. So it's just fascinating that you can lose like a big piece of hardware, but in the grand scheme of Warhammer 40k, that's nothing. That's a drop in the bucket.
often fight the Ultramarines, hence often lose. Miros is doomed. Cthulhu is lost. Telenar is the only craftworld that the Harlequins don't recruit from. Varantha has pretty gems and nice flowers. Idaraha was destroyed by the Legion of the Damned for some stupid fucking reason that makes no sense. Ilamanesh was destroyed by the Night Lords. Lunasad tried to hide in the webway but accidentally went to the heart of chaos itself and got sodomized. Morioryi was destroyed by the Imperium during the Great Crusade. So was Thulelia by the Space Wolves. Zartan got cucked by the Greenskins during the War of the Beast. And Murgaith got clapped by Slanesh.
What religion or faith do we get these names from?
Karas Mitha, Mel
It sounds like things close to Arabic.
Tilval, Yi, Aroth, and Xandros have next to no information about them, but they are likely still floating around somewhere, whilst Aachen, Belshaman, Kolthisi, Lanemenashk, Theriminaninger, Urithiel, and Zulasa were destroyed at an unknown time for unknown reasons. Still Lut, Tilval, Yi, Aroth, and Xandros have next to no information.
Nah, it's not getting old. Give up, Majorkill.
Yi was destroyed by the Imperium during the Great Crusade, so was Thulelia by the Space Wolves. Zartan got cucked by the Greenskins during the War of the Beast, and Murgaith got clapped by Slanesh. Araksh Quinn, Anghi, Karas Mitha, Mel Khan, Nakaring Tati, Still Lut, Tilval, Yi, Aroth, and Xandros have next to no information about them, but they are likely still floating around somewhere, whilst Aachen, Belshamon, Kolthisi, Lanemenashk, Theriminaninger, Urithiel, and Zulasa were destroyed at an unknown time for unknown reasons. Holy fuck, I feel like an Indian with how much pseudo-Hindu I've been speaking. When I put out this video idea, a bunch of you laughed at me, and now I see why. There are a lot of craftworlds. Fucking dying race my ass, the Eldar are fine. And that does us for today, you guys. All the different craftworlds explained. If you enjoyed the video and want to support the channel, then Patreon is the place to be.
I don't know if it's
$1
actually
per
21
month give you
billion,
access
I'm
to
just
a
saying.
boatload of Warhammer hentai. Hit the subscribe button, then hit the real subscribe button for more crafty content. Join the Discord for more memes, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.
That last part was hilarious, man. My man sounded like he was Raven from Teen Titans. I'm Centos. Anyways, now I like it, man. I like it. I like Majorkill's videos. I just do. I'm a big fan. And I think I got one last video to check out. I am probably looking at the Catan. Ooh, nah, 2 videos. I want to check out the Catan and the Dark Age of Technology. So I'm keeping it short. Thanks for checking me out, guys. If you guys like, covering content with me, just vibing, because that's what we do, consider subscribing. I'll really appreciate it. We're trying to get this channel to 20,000 subscribers. We're skipping 10,000. It's never even going to happen. We're going to 20,000. We could do that with your support, and I thank you. I really do. I'm Yaboyrocklee, and I'm out, guys. As always, thanks for supporting this channel. If you don't know, we do have a Patreon, and it's free to join. You can stay updated, suggest content, or vote on polls. If you're interested in our uncut and early reactions to anime, K-drama, Western shows, and movie reactions, which include exclusive reactions not found on YouTube, you can join the upper tiers on Patreon, or you can stick with the edited content right here on YouTube. We got your boy Yaboyrocklee reactions also in the description of this video. Until next time, I'm out.